Cara, eu acho que é a minha última Copa do Mundo. Eu encaro como a minha última porque eu não sei se terei mais condição de cabeça de aguentar mais futebol. Então, não sei se... Então, eu vou fazer de tudo pra chegar muito bem, fazer de tudo pra ganhar com o meu país, pra realizar o meu sonho maior desde pequeno. E eu espero poder conseguir, né?
Welcome to a special episode of Extra Time TV. This is Sooklal, and we're going to talk about something today that's a little bit different and often overlooked by many. It's the topic of mental health. Recently, Neymar of Brazil announced that he may be stepping down from playing for Brazil after this World Cup, citing reasons such as being difficult. It being difficult for him to maintain his form, the difficulty of the fans, and just he doesn't have the mental strength. So today with us on our show, we have someone who's definitely the right person to speak to about this. It's Alexandria Olton, a sports psychologist who is definitely the most appropriate person to talk about this. Because as I said before, this is a topic that is not discussed enough in Trinidad and Tobago. So Alex, how are you today?
Very good. Thank you for having me, Andre. Really appreciate it.
Yes. So, it's a pleasure to have you here. This is a topic that we've seen everywhere. People talk about mental health very loosely. Sometimes it's and it's no fault of their own. It's not a very fully understood, study and discipline. But we'll speak directly about this particular case with Neymar right now. Your initial thoughts as somebody who works in this field, it's particularly in sport, because folks, you worked with the Trinidad and Tobago women's national team as well. Tell me your initial thoughts about, Neymar and, your thoughts on this.
Andre, it's not surprising. It's not uncommon either. It's surprising that it happened still in career, because a lot of instances where footballers have spoken about mental health difficulties, mental illness, and mental struggle has been, post-career reflections, or, especially, Neymar has had his fair share of injuries as well, which he made reference to when it came to those mental health struggles and so on. So, it's an intense environment being an international footballer. The spotlight is on you 24/7. The media is ready to scrutinize every move you make. And he made reference to being called mentally weak and weak in the past. There's a stigma around, opening up and being vocal and vulnerable about your mental struggles. And, we take it for granted that they're superhuman. We place athletes on this great pedestal that they are, superheroes. But indeed, they struggle with regular human problems just like everyone else, except that, they're put under the microscope when it happens. So.
Yes, and I've spoken. You work in the sport field as well, and a lot of people under the condition of being anonymous, because this is another issue as well. They actually are not very. They have concerns about speaking out about it, which is also part of the problem. I've had athletes within Trinidad and Tobago, speak to me, although that's not my field of study, and they told me that there were times that they actually were trying to reach out. Of course, you're here now. But before, they tried to reach out for those sort of support mechanisms, and they didn't have that. And oftentimes there are things that are misunderstood in this particular area, which you highlighted as well. And it's not just Neymar, but I'm using Neymar as an example because he's a global name. But it's a very common thing, with both men and women, and it's very much an aspect of the overall preparation for teams and individuals that often. And I say this in a respectful way, it's overlooked in Trinidad and Tobago when, preparing teams. You have your coaches, and now people are opening up to analysts and so on. But that aspect, do you think that in Trinidad and Tobago right now that it's becoming more, people are receiving it more, or there's a lot more work to be done?
Both, realistically. There's always work to be done. There's always progress to be made. I think generally the whole mental health stigma that revolves around, talking about mental illness and mental struggle I think is being spoken of a bit more, particularly with this COVID-19 pandemic that we're enduring. I think it's sped up or accelerated the need for the conversation because more and more people are experiencing the mental strain in everyday life. With respect to athletes in Trinidad and Tobago, I think there are a number of athletes who are very aware of the need for mental performance support. I think there are a number of coaches as well, but there's always room to educate further. I think there are a lot of stakeholders who may not understand what we as sports psychologists do and are threatened by it sometimes, particularly thinking that, we're coming to tell them how to do their jobs, or, oh, the practitioner is here, they're going to judge how we do things, kind of thing. But we're here to support. As mental practitioners, we are designed to lend support to the coaching environment, the parent athlete environment, and then ultimately just the optimal performance of the athlete. And so I think there's a willingness to work with sports psychs now, and there is certainly opportunity and access to it now than there was before, but there's still a long way to go.
This is the champion DJ Bravo. I know it's testing times. I know most of you all stuck at home, not able to go to school, be with your friends. I want to encourage each and every one of you to stay focused, stay positive, stay healthy. Find a way, even though you're at home, find a way. Take at least 10, 15 minutes of your day and do something positive. Do an exercise, whether you go for a walk, a jog, sit-ups, squats, whatever it is. Be responsible, be safe, and take this downtime to motivate yourself. Be active. From the champion, DJ Bravo.
Just a reminder, everyone, for more episodes with Shaka Hislop, be sure to head over to our YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more updates, interviews, and content.